just notify everyone that this meeting will be live streamed and a recording of the meeting will be made. Our record of attendance, we have all councillors here apart from Councillor Simpson, who is running late. So when he comes in, we will just note his arrival. And we have Councillor Gillum online. All staff are present with the Director of Strategic Projects and Business online, Simon Cott, and the Director for Development Services, Lee Riddell, online also. There are no apologies. Is there any requests for leave of absence for the next meeting? All be on deck. Item 3 is public question time, which we did have one from Taryn last week, the public briefing. Is it that just there for information only?
Yeah, so we committed to both the public and also to Taryn and council that the response would be provided in writing.
Okay, excellent. Are there any other questions from the public?
Yes, mate.
Gary.
Hello, everyone.
Now, I know you've been here a few times before, but you still need to state your name and address, and suburb will be fine.
Gary Fitzgerald.
Karratha.
LIA Karratha. What else you need, Scotty?
That's it, mate. That's it.
Okay, what I'm here tonight to talk about is licence fees on restaurants and mobile caterers. I feel it needs a review. The first one I'm going to say is you pay for a hard stand licence, which is $500 for a 12-month period. But if you sell that business within the 12 months, you don't get no money back. If you pay a registration on a car and you sell the car 3 months later, you get money back. That really needs reviewing. Most probably no one's ever challenged it. So that's number one. Okay, we'll go into a hard stand licence, which is $500 per year. If you work it out over 50 weeks a year, it's $10. You go into a mobile traders, and I think this has been in disarray for a long time. I'm now interested in getting back into it myself. A mobile trader's licence is worth $2,400. If you equivalent to 50 weeks a year, it's $48 a week. Okay, and it's also run by the City of Karratha. Well, I think the City of Karratha should stick to what they're doing. They do a very good job of running the City of Karratha. The mobile traders should be able to form a team of their own and have 2 members or 3 members who make a roster up. And if the other traders aren't happy with that, then we sit down and have a talk about them. But I feel the City of Karratha should be kept well away from it. The mobile traders know where they go to make money, and there's not every place you're going to make money at. Dreamers Hill is number 1, where everyone wants to be, and that's not going to happen for everyone. All right, so I'm prepared to take up some sort of role on that management as well. There is a couple of people there that created a lot of problems last time, where the Shire, at the time the city, had to make some tough decisions. I feel he's done that very well. But now the laws need to be relaxed. There's not as many traders as there used to be because they come and go constantly. All right. So I feel the outside traders that come up for Perth, for Pinnacle and all that sort of thing in them whopping big vans, they should be charged $3,000 per year because they're actually not taking one side, they're taking 2 and 3 at some occasions. So if they're up there on the Friday night and they've been elected to trade there, they're going to move their truck away to let some more traders in. You know, and this is where management team for the mobile traders will come into play very well. All right, and you people don't have to worry about it then. All right, and so Ross is Dreamers Hill. Also, up on Dreamers Hill, you get good money for that Dreamers Hill. You should have some solar-powered lights up there that are on a concrete base that can be moved by a forklift if you people want to move it to another function. And I feel it's very underdone with lighting. You are held liable for some insurance up there because you're providing the venue. And that's a very serious point that I see is wrong there. Also, see, people are now turning up with their vans and they've got tables and chairs there. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, you weren't allowed to have tables and chairs there because you're a mobile trader. You're not plonking your backside down to sit there for half an hour and have a chinwag because there's lots of cars moving around there. And you should go back to the system where the people have got to follow their like a land of, so that not everyone's pushing up on top of each other. But the most important thing is the refund on the licence. All right, so if you pay $500 and you ring up 3 months later, I got told here, the city, there's no refund policy. Well, whether it's the state government or the city of Karratha, if it's a state government, the city of Karratha councillors should be pushing forward to see why a refund can't be given back to the people. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Gary. And we'll take all those questions on notice, obviously, because there's a lot in there. And we'll get a response to you on our position, I guess, on that $500 fee. And then if we could look into what we could do in that space. And then the mobile trading, the policy. I actually can't remember when we last reviewed that. It wasn't that long ago, though, was it?
No, it wasn't. So, Mr. Mayor, there's a couple of things there. I'd probably suggest that we provide a written response in the agenda of the next meeting.
Yeah.
We can provide a response to Gary in the meantime. I did actually mention to him that we're currently looking at fees and charges.
Yes.
So there's an opportunity there for council to give some thought to his feedback as we're going through our fees and charges and setting that for the new budget. You're right. I think the other thing is we can take it on notice to have a look at the traders policy, because that would be another place where we can look at some of the protocols and how things are operating and take that as some feedback for us to give that some consideration.
So because obviously we have a trading policy at the moment, and so any changes that need to be made in the future have to go through that, adopt changes, amendments to the policy as well. But thanks for that, Gary. Any other public questions?
I had one, but it's been the items been withdrawn. So
Okay.
No. We'll sit back, relax, listen, and we'll be back on the agenda again.
I was just going to say to the member of the public, if you did want to ask the question so we can consider it before we bring the item back next time, you're very welcome to.
Yeah. Well, there's two opportunities. There's one tonight, and then there'll be the public briefing for the next agenda, and then the OCM for the next agenda. So it's up to you, Annabelle.
So I guess probably the question I was asking is, will it come back? I guess the answer is yes. Then in that case. So,
correct.
Okay, cool. If you're happy to, and then how's it run?
As the same, name, address, that will be fine.
Sure. So hi everyone, Annabelle Little from Pegs Creek. Thank you for the opportunity to speak, particularly given the agenda items being withdrawn. So I was here to express my concern regarding agenda item 9.9, which is the acquisition of residential properties and the city's proposal to spend $5 million on purchase of 5 houses for staff housing. While I appreciate the city's intention to support its workforce, I believe this represents a poor allocation of public funds for several reasons. We're currently at the peak of a property market cycle, effectively the top of the bull market. Entering the market now with public funds means paying the highest price possible. In undertaking the acquisition, the city is directly competing with local mum and dad home buyers, many of whom are already struggling to secure a home in an overheated market. This not only places upward pressure on prices, but also sends the wrong message about the city's priorities and understanding of its residents' financial pressures. Reducing the opportunity for residents to secure homes would be in direct conflict with the city's own mission to be the most livable regional city. As you're aware, the City of Karratha's annual survey results form part of the city's community perception surveys, which track how residents rate the city's performance against 3 key factors: service expectations, facilities, and all these support tracking progress towards its stated mission, again, becoming the most livable regional city. Over the past 10 years, the city's own annual performance data shows that financial management has been consistently in the bottom 5 performing areas. The bottom performing factors are persistent and repeat year after year, indicating some systemic issues. Livability, housing, cost of living, safety and health continually arise. Facilities, public toilets, parks and gardens, sports fields, Karratha Airport and waste facilities. And in services, illegal dumping, street litter, community engagement, mozzie control and financial management. The poorest performing services, including illegal dumping, parks and gardens, street litter, community engagement activities and financial management require systemic reform rather than additional funding. Throwing money at these problems will not fix them. Instead, the city must rigorously analyse how to rectify the underlying issues. Are the current service levels appropriate to meet the residents' expectations? Does the city have the right staff in place with appropriate skills and qualifications? Is the hiring process robust and effective? Are staff equipped with the right tools and resources? Are operations running efficiently? And is it the right mix of in-house versus contractor services appropriate? Who is holding staff accountable? And is it time for stronger performance oversight? Addressing these questions is essential before any new expenditure is considered, including staff housing. Further data from the 2021 census, I realise that's very old in Karratha terms, so that unoccupied housing in Karratha sits at 19.7%, which is nearly double the WA average of 10.9%. This issue was previously raised at the 2025 electors meeting to encourage pressure on external departments and industry holding vacant properties, while also acknowledging that flooding the market is not a viable solution. Additionally, the split between renters and owners is stark. It was at that time 60% of Karratha residents rent, with overall home ownership at just 27%. I'm sure you have some current stats. Given this context, I question what strategies the city currently has in place to meet its stated objectives of becoming the most livable regional city, ensuring housing availability, reducing the cost of living while maintaining financial responsibility. Allocating $5 million to purchase just 5-star houses does not appear to meaningfully address these systemic issues. There are some alternative strategies that exist that have a more substantial and sustainable impact. Some of those examples might include, and these aren't mine, these are comments that are happening out in the public space, release target blocks at reduced costs to stimulate private sector investment in housing. This would increase housing stock, generate rates income, stimulate local building and associated services, and encourage home ownership without placing the full financial burden on the city. Release larger blocks for hobby farms, small market opportunities and rural lifestyle development. This strategy would create a diversified housing and lifestyle market, attract investment in small-scale agriculture, enhance local food security, support recreational lifestyle aspirations, and promote sustainable use of available land, all while stimulating the local economy. It is deeply concerning that financial management remains a persistent area of underperformance. Yet the city is committing, which they're not clearly now, millions of public funds to speculative property purchases that offer limited community benefit. At a time when residents are calling for focus on cost of living, public safety, essential infrastructure and improved community facilities, the city should demonstrate prudent fiscal leadership, not act as a market competitor. I urge the city to reconsider this expenditure and refocus its efforts on strengthening the areas that have been repeatedly identified as priorities. While staff housing is a valid consideration, the proposed approach does not align with either sound financial management or the broader strategic goal of improving the livability for Karratha residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Annabelle.
Thank
I
you.
really do appreciate your passion for Karratha, and you come with a lot of thought into what you feel and think and know is going on. So I appreciate that. Obviously, there's a lot in that, and we are recording it, so we'll take the questions and the statement. But financial management's an interesting one, isn't it? It has always been low. You often wonder whether it's the perception of it, because when people answer that question, you don't know whether they're from the business community, whether they're from a not-for-profit sector, whether they're just a homeowner, and always people want different things. But one thing I can say is that when was it, late last year, we adopted our community infrastructure plan, which is a 10-year plan, which is going to be worth a couple $100 million, and that includes sporting ovals and everything, all the needs that we've identified through a huge community engagement, platform that's told us, where we should be heading in the next 10 years. Mullatarga is coming online. I take your point about offering it to at a lower price, but unfortunately, even though we're involved in it and we did get the money from the federal government to basically almost force Development WA and the state to act, we don't control the sales, of that land, and we're in discussions with Development WA around if there's profit on that land, at least it needs to go back into stage 2, stage 3, because at the moment we're only doing, part of stage 1. So there's a lot that we're doing in that housing space, and the agenda item you came to talk about, obviously it has been withdrawn because obviously council and councillors also shared concerns around that sort of spend, and now we're basically going through, all right, well, if the city needs more staff, because we're always in a trajectory of growth. Well, that's what we're trying to achieve, trying to build this community and build the population of the city. Then we need to really look a lot closer at what other options there are. We've got property coming online. It's going to be the end of the year. There's apartments coming. There's townhouses coming. There's houses getting built. There's a lot of activity in town. But we do need to spend more time thinking about these things, because you're right, $5 million is a lot of money to spend in a market. You're competing against others, and as you said, the height of the market. So if we're going to spend that sort of money, we need serious consideration and make sure that we've gone through all the information, and the decision we make, we know is the right decision, whatever that's going to be. Anyway, thank you for your questions. We've got them, and we'll get back to you with some answers. And thanks very much. Right. If there's no more public questions, 4 is petitions, deputations, and presentations, of which we had none. We had Sarah Whelan, the CEO of Chamber of Commerce, come in last week and provide a deputation to us. 5, I dealt with it before, requests for leave of absence. 6 is declarations of interest, of which we had 3 that all relate to councillors' partners being relating to employees. Now, we've had some legal advice on this, and they no longer need to declare that interest. So how would we deal with this?
Sorry to interrupt. Do you mind if we just shimmy the agenda?
Absolutely. Thank you. No, I'll just leave you. Yes.
Yeah, that's how it's going to do it.
Yeah,
if you move that chair around, they might be able to shimmy this over. Only if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love a pedestal with I just thought you might be able to shimmy, so Jeff's head wasn't in the way, but it might be.
All right.
Is everyone good?
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. Right, so we'll go through them one by one. So, Councillor Gillam, you had an indirect financial interest in 10.2.7% entry statement. Would you like to withdraw that declaration of interest?
Yes, please, Mr. Mayor. I would like to withdraw that.
Okay, so that one's withdrawn. Councillor Roots, you had the same indirect financial interest in the entry statement. Would you also like to withdraw?
That's correct, Mr. Mayor. If I could just take a couple of seconds back on further clarification from a legal expert during a wonderful strategy meeting, it became very clear that we've really got clarity around the fact that we're looking at a relationship between the proponent or the person proposing the notice of motion, which in this case is the City of Karratha. So that's made that crystal clear for me.
Yes.
Although I will happily declare that my husband does get a wage from Rio Tinto, but not necessary to declare anything in this instance.
Yeah, it was an eye-opening moment that we went, oh my God, all these years we've been dealing with these things the wrong way. We could have had everyone in the room.
To contribute to as well, so that was good to get across that. So
Excellent.
We're just continually improving.
Right.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Getting ourselves sorted.
And then we had Councillor Furlong. You also had an indirect financial interest for 10.2, the 0.7% interest statement. Would you like to withdraw
Yes,
that?
yes. As Councillor suggested, we've had some excellent legal advice, and there is no financial interest from either the company my husband works for or myself personally. So, but I do have a declaration of interest.
Yes, would you like to tell us, please?
Yes, I have 10.1, which is the health services report. I am a casual employee of PKUC, and one of the officers' recommendation is that the city explores entering into bonded relationship scholarships through KUC. So I will step up that.
Okay. Very long. 7 is the confirmation of minutes and business arriving from minutes of the previous meeting, with the officer's recommendation that the minutes of the ordinary meeting council held on the 23rd of February, which is a Monday, to be confirmed as true and correct. Can someone move that motion, please? Councillor Swaffer, seconded. Councillor Gillam, did you put your hand up? Yes. Okay, is anyone against? I am watch right here.
Yeah, I know. That's it.
The CEO puts in new technology to make it easy for me. I don't even use it. Right, anyone against that motion? Right, that motion has carried. 8 is announcements by the person presiding without discussion. All the meetings I had through February. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I am wearing a Roebourne High School t-shirt tonight because I got the pleasure of going to the opening of the Roebourne High School, and they gave me this shirt, which is really cool, which celebrates, it basically says Roebourne DHS Euromuggadoo since 1874, and the new school established 2026. That's a long time between drinks for a school, isn't it? And it was great to be there. And when we're talking to some people that are involved, one thing that they argued around the justification of money being spent in Roebourne for a high school was the fact that why should a kid in Roebourne not get the same level of service from the school, as in, the curriculum, the everything in a classroom, the technology in a classroom, compared to a child in Perth? And the answer is, well, they should have exactly the same standard of education as anyone else does. So that high school and the technology and what's in it is going to be an absolute game changer for that community, and it'll be a part of the social fabric of the community. It was very, very good to be there and at the opening. And I'll proudly wear their shirt, although I've got to dull the colour out a bit. It's a little bit bright for me. I'm an extrovert, but I don't know if I'm that extra. Okay, 9 is the corporate and commercial reports, with 9.1 being statements period ended 31st of January 2026. With the officer's recommendation, the council received the financial statements for the financial period ended 31st of January 2026, as shown in attachments 1 to 4. Can I have someone move this motion? Councillor Harris on the second. Councillor Johansson. Anyone against the motion? No. Councillor Harris, would you like to speak for it?
Oh, no, it's just the standard reports from each month, just tracking our movement, with all our investments, all our reports and stuff. So, nothing more to say.
All right, Councillor Johansson, anything to add?
Just excited that we're going to see the Screaming Jets and FINA.
Listen, it's just exciting. FINA is always an exciting time of year. Okay, there's no further commentary. That motion has passed. 9.2 is the list of payments for 31st of January 2026. With the officer's recommendation, the council received this payments totaling $13.595 million, as detailed in attachments 1, 2, and 3. Can I have someone move this motion? Councillor Swaffer, someone to second it. Councillor Furlong. Is anyone against the motion? Councillor Swaffer, would you like to speak for the list of payments?
It's a smaller month than we've seen in the past, and along with that came, reduced number of local suppliers with those percentages of payments, but hopefully we'll see that pick up again in the coming months. It's down to 51% in there, so.
Yeah, you're right, which is tracking a little bit lower. Right, Councillor Furlong, anything to add? The motion is passed. 9.3 is the investments for period ended 31st January 2026. With the officer's recommendation, the council received the investment report for the financial period ending 31st of January 2026. Can someone move this motion? Councillor Harris, someone to second it. Councillor Swaffer. Is there anyone against the motion? No. Councillor Harris, would you like to speak for this?
This is
the section where the money's making money.
Yeah, so this is good to see our investments. This is what keeps the rate, the amount of rates we have to take off the homeowners down lower. So the more investments we can do and the more money we can make on those, the better off it is for our ratepayers and the cost of living. Thank you.
Councillor Swaffer, any further add?
No, just again, we'll be looking to see how these look with interest rates going up and what we can do to continue to make sure our investments are making us money.
Yeah, it was something to track, right? You got cash in the bank, interest rates go up. You make some extra money. But at the same time, when interest rates go up, usually expenses go up as well. So it's a bit of a balance. Right, there's no one against that motion. That motion is carried. 9.4 is the reserve review for 26-27. With the officer's recommendation, the council resolved to A, establish a digital transformation reserve for the purpose of funding the digital transformation and data initiatives of the city. B, close the economic development reserve and transfer remaining funds to the strategic reserve. C, amend the purpose of the infrastructure reserve as outlined in this report. And D, amend the purpose of the aerodrome reserve as outlined in this report. E, amend the purpose of the waste management reserve as outlined in this report. F, amend the purpose of the Rio Tinto partnership reserve as outlined in this report. And G, amend the purpose of the strategic reserve as outlined in the report. Can I have someone move this motion? Councillor Furlong, someone to second it. Councillor Gillen, is anyone against the motion? Councillor Furlong, would you like to speak for it?
I just think that financial management is something that we need to be, top of the game with. And by establishing this digital transformation reserve, it puts us, we know that we have a lot of growth in that area. And by having a reserve established there, we hopefully will be ahead of the pack. And yes, we're closing the economic development, but we're really just transferring it to the strategic reserve. And otherwise, it's just making less words in reserve statements.
Yes, thank you, Councillor Furlong. Councillor Gillen, do you have anything further to add?
Not particularly, just that it does make perfect sense to amend the reserves as of the operational need requires it to. So this is good to see.
Thanks. There's no one against that motion. That's carried. 9.5 is the review of the budget for 25-26. And the officer's recommendation is that council adopts the 25-26 review of budget, which results in a proposed surplus of $9,663 for the financial year ended 30th of June 2026. Can I have someone move this motion? Councillor Swaffer, someone second it. Councillor Harris. Anyone against the motion? Councillor Swaffer, would you like to speak for it?
It was just really great to get a better overview again at our strategic planning catch up on the weekend too, the director talking through some of our projects and where they're at and what they're forecast for, and some of these changes are mainly just regarding operational changes to when the money's coming in and going out. So feeling confident.
Thank you, Councillor Swaffer. Councillor Harris, anything further to that?
Yeah, just obviously when the budget sets prior to the start of the year, things change, things get delayed and that. So this is an important step we do to balance the budget and to move things in accordingly to where they will fall. And so it's important to be able to financially manage and to work towards that at the end of the year.
Councillor Harris. And all the questions, that councillors asked last week are in the agenda. Of C's responses are there also. So there's no one against that motion. It is carried. 9.6 is our long-term financial plan. The officer's recommendation that council resolve to adopt the long-term financial plan for 2026 to 36. Not going to be new technology for long.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, can I have someone move this motion? Councillor Johansson, seconded. Councillor Harris, they say no one wants a long-term financial plan. Anyone against this motion? No. Councillor Johansson, would you like to speak for it?
I think it's good to see some of the projects that are scheduled to happen in this, like the Karratha Bike Park and the oval lighting programs and the Wickham Back Beach boat ramp and a few other projects. It's good to see those things in the planning and actually following through. Little concerning about the employee costs rising fairly significantly, but if we're in a growing stage, as you say, I guess, the projected rise from 398 to 425 FTE is something that's required.
Yeah, so obviously that's the long-term financial plan, right? It's all dependent on the state of the economy, what's happening around the world, what's happening around the national economy. There's a lot of ifs and buts and maybes, but all the best you can do is just plan for it. There's a lot. Obviously, as you mentioned, there's a lot of things we've had on the agenda that we want to get done. Adopting this and budgeting for it is we hopefully will see. No, not hopefully, we will see lots of activity and lots of things happening. Councillor, who seconded that? Councillor Harris, anything further to add?
Just obviously this is a very important document, the long-term financial plan, 10-year plan going forward. We've added some new projects in there. This sort of factors out how it's going to look in our long-term financial plan, how it's going to have an effect. So something we've got to do, update every year, and it's important and it's interesting. It's good to see the first 5 years. Obviously, after 5 years, things we'll have to update regularly to factor that in. But once it's in there, it shows the track going forward.
Yeah, and as I said last week, we've got our base case scenario of 1.05%, which I see has been an explanation. But I'm keen next year to see what the actual figure is, and I hope it's 2.5, like I predict. So we'll see what happens. Right, there's no one against that motion. That motion has carried. 9.7 is the review of council policies with the officer's recommendation to adopt the following council policies. The council policy CS26 is the feedback policy, and repeal the following council policies. Council policy CG15, the customer service charter, which is to be reclassified as an operational policy, and council policy CE01, unbudgeted financial requests from the community. Someone move this motion? Councillor Gillam, someone to second the motion? Councillor Swaffer, anyone against the motion? No. Councillor Gillam, would you like to speak for it?
Sure. This one's not a particularly exciting one in comparison to the rest of the agenda. However, the consistent and regular review of policies, it does demonstrate good governance by the city. So this is a necessary agenda item and I'm happy to support.
Thank you, Councillor Gillam. Councillor Swaffer, anything further to add?
Just regarding the repeal of the customer service charter, it doesn't mean that the customer service is going to stop or be untracked. And if we have a look at it going into operational, the staff will continue to monitor that and make sure that it is looked after.
Thank you, Councillor Swaffer. Yeah, the unbudgeted financial request from community. I mean, it's interesting that we've had that, right? Like, if you want to talk about financial management and governance, I'm not sure unbudgeted financial requests are a good way of doing that.
So hopefully that will see our financial management reviews go up.
Thank you, Councillor Swaffer. There's no one against that. That motion has passed. 9.8 is the Audit Risk and Improvement Committee for the 16th of February 2026. and not our officers, but the committee's recommendation is that council receive the minutes of the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee, which was held on the 16th of February 2026, and 2, accept the amended terms of reference for the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee, and 3, note the scheduled meeting dates for the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee as the Wednesday, 3rd of June at 3 p.m, Monday, the 17th of August at 3 p.m, and Monday, the 23rd of November, with no time set yet because it is too far away. Can someone please move this motion? Councillor Harris, someone to second the motion? Councillor Furlong, anyone against the motion? Councillors, was it you, Scott? Harris.
Yeah, this is obviously we're just noting the minutes here. Obviously, the local government reforms have forced the Audit and Risk Committee to bring in some changes there. So that's just sort of accepting all that and setting forward for their meetings for the rest of the year. So noted.
Yes, well, we are. It is. Listen, it was a lot more robust, the Audit and Risk Committee, especially with an expert independent chair, bringing that knowledge around risk to the committee. We're going to utilise that a lot. That's going to help us, add a risk register, and every decision we make that'll form part of that Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee to ensure that we're, as things progress, that we're always keeping in check with everything. Right, there's no one against that motion. That has passed. 9.9 is the acquisition of residential property to support workforce housing demand, which has been withdrawn from this agenda as we seek more information. So 9.10 is the code of conduct for council members, committee members and candidates, with the officer's recommendation that we adopt the updated code of conduct for council members, committee members and candidates, and repeal policy CG18, the complaint investigation, that is being superseded, and appoint the CEO to receive complaints in accordance with clause 11, part 3 of the code. Someone move this motion, please. Councillor Furlong, someone to second it. Councillor Swaffer, anyone against the motion? Councillor Furlong, would you like to speak for it?
I think this is very important. As with any normal functioning society, there are codes of ethics to follow. So we do need to have this updated regularly. And I think it's a good job that's been done to make it updated.
Councillor Furlong, Councillor Swaffer, any further to add?
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
No, I mean, I guess these are rules. These are new rules under the Local Government Act that are being filtered down to local government, and we adopt it. And if anyone steps out of line, you bring in the whipping stick of the appointment of a monitor. So a few councillors through WA going through that at the moment. Right, there's no one against that, then that motion has carried. Okay. 10 and 10.1 is the health services investigation, which Councillor Furlong has a bunch of interest. Stepped out of the room at 6:39 p.m. Okay, the officer's recommendation is that council note the health services investigation report identifying 8 initiatives to support the local health sector as provided in attachment 1. Agree to advertise the health services investigation implementation plan as per attachment 2 for public feedback for a minimum of 2 weeks, and request the CEO to present back to council a summary of feedback received following the advertising period, along with a final health services investigation implementation plan for consideration. Someone move this motion, please. Councillor Roots, someone to second it. Councillor Swaffer, is there anyone against the motion? Councillor Roots, would you like to speak for it?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. There are many reasons why I'm proud to be part of this council, and one of them is that we go above and beyond our remit and try our best to support our community. And since one initiative that is essential to life, really living in the regions means that we are not close to the services that we need. And while I felt the EY report sometimes was not compelling and not telling us anything new, there were certainly things there that were of much value. I also value that this will go back to the public for that circling back that we continue to try and continue on to make sure that we are getting things right. So more than happy to ask this and get it back out to community.
Thank you, Councillor Eccles. Councillor Swaffer, anything further to add?
I'll just echo Councillor Roots and also add that, yeah, I hope there's within the next review too that we really look to support our current healthcare businesses too and still try and focus on some of that face-to-face healthcare service and not just focus on telehealth, because, you know, if we are going to be Australia's most livable regional city, we need to make sure that we're offering those services locally. And it's really great to have students and those study opportunities that we have up here, but it does take a considerable amount of time of professionals to also make sure that those sort of services are provided here too. So, and, you know, the students that do come up love the opportunity to get out into the regions. And so hopefully we can continue to, you know, push to have a lot of these services local and hope that comes out.
Yeah, I think if we're having a collaborative sort of relationship with WACS, and hopefully they can be very transparent with you know, what their needs and desires are, and our job is just to support WACS and all the healthcare providers in the city to make sure that, you know, we're doing the best to advocate and support them in whatever their needs are. Okay, if there's no one against that, then that motion has passed.
Good job, Councillor Harris.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Harris.
Councillor Furlong, welcome back. 6:02 p.m. That previous motion was passed. Your knowledge. 10.2 is the points down to entry statement, final detailed design and opinion of probable costs. This too has been withdrawn from the agenda as we go to seek a bit more information as well. Go back to the community to ensure, I guess, that we get this as close to right as possible, which is difficult to do sometimes when you're talking about design and art. As you know, that Tank in the Hill, I don't know what the percentage of people in the community that like it is, but I'd say it's less than 10. So we want to make sure we get this one right. So that'll come back on the agenda in the near future. Okay. And 10.3 is the Goomera Aboriginal Corporation lease appeal, with the offer's recommendation that council approve a peppercorn lease of $10 per annum plus GST and outgoings for 10 Headland Place in Karratha to Goomera Aboriginal Corporation with a lease term of 1 year plus a further 1 year option, so 1+1, giving a total potential lease term of 2 years, including a redevelopment clause. Can I have someone move this motion, please? Councillor Johansson. Someone to second the motion, Councillor Gillam. Is there anyone against the motion? No. Councillor Johansson, would you like to speak for it?
Just reading the city's response regarding there was a concern regarding the condition of it.
Yes.
Because it was 15 months old, the last condition report, but good to see one was done in February. I think overall it's great to see these old buildings that, you know, not everyone wants to move into, but if there's someone willing to occupy the space, well, why not get it active? And they really do great work in the, you know, early childhood education space.
Yeah, I guess the important thing with this one is they've only got 2 years, so we need to make sure we're in a constant relationship with them and helping them, because they're going to have to move out eventually because that building either needs serious work or needs to be knocked over sooner rather than later. Councillor Gillam, Anything further to add?
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I did pick up on the same thing as Councillor Johansson, that in the briefing, I did ask a couple of questions around how safe is the building. We're confident in the building report that was done 15 months ago. So very pleased to see that one was done on 27th of February that has deemed the building safe for use for children as well as adults. And I'm pleased that the city is able to offer them a peppercorn lease, which will enable them to run their programs with the money that they have to do so.
Thank you, Councillor Gillan. If there's no further commentary, that motion has passed. 10.4 is free swims and shots. January 2023 to 26. But it's a continuation. So the office's recommendation is to approve the continuation of the free swims and shots initiative for a further 3 years, taking it from 2027 to 2029, and approved by absolute majority pursuant to section 6.12 of the Local Government Act, to waive the waiver of fees and charges for the calendar months of January 27, January 28, and January 29. For the following services: the casual child swim at the Karratha Leisurepex, the casual child swim at the Wickham Aquatic Facility, the casual child swim at the Roeburn Aquatic Facility, casual shots at the Karratha Leisurepex outdoor courts, and casual shots at the Karratha Leisurepex indoor courts. Can I have someone move this motion? Councillor Swaffer. Someone to second it. Councillor Harris. Anyone against the motion? Councillor Swaffer, would you like to speak for it?
I think it's a great initiative of the city, and that shows through the figures in here, the usage of the service, and it just gets people out and about in a time that's extremely hot up here, and I think it's something that we should continue to offer our community.
I know my kids used to. Geez, they go through January. There's not much to do. It's hot. Okay, can I go to the basketball courts?
Have some shots and have a swim. It's a perfect combination.
Councillor Harris, anything further?
Yeah, nothing too much more. I'll echo what Councillor Swapper has said. It, like I said, it's a cost of living initiative. For people that can't afford to go away on holidays. And they want to get the kids out of the house for something different. This is been 30,000 free visits across 3 facilities over 4 years. So it's getting used and getting supported, and happy to support it.
Yeah. Importantly, it's for youth health as well, because health and engagement with other kids, social inclusion. I mean, getting them off their devices is anything we can do to help that is a worthy cause. All right, there's no one against that motion. That is passed. 11, development service reports. 11.1 is the Karratha and District Chamber of Commerce and Industry Business Development Support Grant for a multi-year application for the financial years of 26-27 through to 2028-29. And the office's recommendation is the council approved by absolute majority the multi-year funding of Karratha and District's Chamber of Commerce and Industry as tabled in the table for the 26-27 sponsorship, 27-28, 28-29 yearly to a total of $513,000. Can I have someone move this motion? Councillor Roots, someone to second it. Councillor Harris. Is there anyone against this motion? Councillor Roots, would you like to speak for it?
Certainly. So this is an enormous investment, and I would like to thank the KDCCI for their very prompt response in the quite detailed questioning that I had from the briefing. Kudos to the administration. This motion carried would see further efficiency from our administration in the grants that come across their table and that they have to scrutinise. My reason for being so pedantic in the questioning is this is effectively in direct competition with other businesses. So it's important to make sure that we're getting an absolute value for money. Great to see the statistics there to prove the impact that the KDCCI are already having. So I look forward to seeing that continue into the future.
Thank you, Councillor Roots, and you make some very good points there. we always like to empower those that are doing a lot for the community, and the change certainly does. Who seconded that? Councillor Harris.
To be the most livable regional city, you need strong businesses, and an organisation like this, is set up to support our businesses in town. They've been consistently delivering a lot of programs and support, and I'm very happy to support them again for another 3 years, and to let them lead the business, the local businesses, and to grow them in town. Because to expand this city, we need small businesses to be successful and to be here and to providing services and goods. So I'm happy to support this one.
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Harris. And I don't know if people still recognise this, and it needs to be said more often that Australia, small businesses employ more Australians and people than any other sector. So it's really important that we foster great small businesses, because small businesses eventually turn into big businesses. Some of them. What's that? Paul Kelly's song. That one.
From little things to big
things grow. That's right. All right. There's no one against that motion. That has carried. Okay. I don't have the bookmarks.
11 point.
I'm just going to get there.
Yeah.
Here we are. Okay, 11.2 is the major events sponsorship and attraction program. Proposed sponsorship for Great Aussie Road Trips. The office recommendation that council were approved by absolute majority the sponsorship funding under the NESAP policy to Visage Productions Foundations as follows: a $31,000 grant for Great Aussie Road Trips. And that'll be a budget amendment for the 25-26 for that $31,000 for the purpose of recommending the project under the NESAP policy, and that will be transferred from the city's economic development reserve, of which we are appealing, but that's not till the 30th of June, so it is still in use. Right, may someone move this motion, please? Councillor Roots, someone to second it. Councillor Furlong, anyone against this motion? Councillor Roots, would you like to speak for it?
Certainly, I think with the information that the administration has provided, the net impact to us as a city is $0. The fact that there is buy-in with our neighbours who we do our best to cooperate with. I think that's a really great thing. And also, I'd like to note that there is much. We actually get to stipulate what will be covered. So I think they're honouring the knowledge that the local experts have, and it's something that we can really try and capitalise as we have our tourism strategy to be able to highlight the best of our area.
Well, it's great that we're getting noticed by people who's film here. We said our town here. This one is probably anything. Fair more views, get a bit more traction. And it's great. I was expecting to have a huge tourist season this year, but mind you, we just need our federal government to come up with some answers, because fuel. It hasn't reached about $3 a litre in Karratha yet, but it has in other parts. So we've been quite lucky. But that'll halt some people. But getting the content is still a good thing. And within the wider public of Australia, understand this is a great place to visit. Okay, Councillor Furlong, anything further to add?
I think you said it all.
Oh, thank you. Are you sure? There must be something in there.
11 minutes of airtime is always good.
To break it down into 15-second clips if you want someone to pay attention on Facebook. Okay, if there's no one against that, that motion has carried. 11.3 is the environmental sustainability strategy, mid-cycle review, and the implementation plan. The officer recommendation that council endorsed the City of Karratha's environmental sustainability strategy addendum. Yeah, that's the word. Addendum. Mid-cycle review and implementation plan. And attachment 1. Can I have someone move this motion? Councillor Swaffer, someone to second it. Councillor Roots. Anyone against this motion? No. Councillor Root? No. Councillor Swapper. Speak for it.
I'd just like to say thank you to the officer who gave us a good update and overview of this at a recent workshop and at the public briefing. So I feel like we've been well informed on this, and it's great to see some progress that we see against the actions, and it's identified some clear priorities going forward as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing some action going forward.
Yeah, I think it wasn't that long ago that we adopted our emissions strategy, emissions reduction strategy. So I feel like we're moving fairly quickly in space. Councillor Wicks, will you speak for it?
Just to echo what Deputy Swapper has said, and I just want to call out the enthusiasm that we have from our staff. They are really motivated, and it shows, and our community will be the ones to benefit from it. So huge thank you to them.
Yeah, thank you. And I guess the thing to point out, based on our recent conversations with the Water Corporation, is it says right here while we don't use potable water, and while we need them to invest in our water a bit more, because otherwise we can't reach our sustainability measures. And then the state government has put it on local government that we're in charge of climate change in our local area. So Water Corporation, if you're listening, we have to reduce our potable water use. So give us some damn water. Okay, if there's no one against that motion, that is carried. Next one is 11.4, the request from Indara Digital Infrastructure for a lease within Reserve 30948 of the Karratha Airport. And the council requests the Department of Planning, Lands and Heritage initiate the excision of a portion of Reserve 30948 as per the area shown in the attachment. And 2, request that Crown lease the city of Karratha over this portion of land with the power to grant a sublease for the purpose of telecommunications facility. So I'll move this motion. Councillor Harris, someone to second it. Councillor Gillan. Is anyone against the motion? Councillor Harris, would you like to speak for it?
Telecommunications are very important in our area, and make sure this stays where it is. The government's obviously changed the law a little bit there on how to lease out land and that. So this is to comply with their recommendations. I'm just hoping that we can still make as much money out of it when the new valuations and that come through.
Thank you, Councillor Harris. Councillor Gillam.
No, thank you. All good.
Okay. Further to that motion has carried. 12 and 12.1 being the under projects and infrastructure. 12.1 being the Roebourne Recreation Precinct design, the tender outcome. The officer's recommendation is that council accept the tender submitted by Gresley Bus, apologies if I've mispronounced that, as the most advantageous tender to form a contract based on the assessment of the compliance criteria, quality criteria and pricing structures offered under RFT 42. And 2, authorise the CEO to execute a contract with Gresley Bus Property Proprietary Limited up to a maximum contract value of $1.2 million and subject to any variations of a minor nature. And 3, approved by absolute majority of budget amendment to allocate $1.3 million across the 25-26 and 26-27 budgets to be funded from the infrastructure reserve as in the table on your screen. Now someone move that motion? Councillor, that was a dead finish. Councillor Roots. Would you like to second it, Councillor Swapper?
Sure.
Right.
Thank you.
Is there anyone against that motion? Councillor Roots, would you like to speak for it?
Certainly, just placing my full faith in the robust tender procedure. Admin has come to the conclusion that Gresley Bus will be the best provider for us to give Roebourne Recreation Precinct the loving care that it needs. Along the Roebourne streetscape, it's time to sort of support the rest of the community on the Eastern Corridor. So looking forward to them without any further delay, getting brought into stone.
It's fair to say it's not the last piece of the puzzle. It's not the last piece, but
And there's many things that they have to adhere to, many plans and strategies.
as far as what we've been doing in recent future, this is sort of ties a lot together. Yes, Councillor Swapper, you think further add?
No, just excited to know, but yes. Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm excited to see this progressing.
So it should be great for the community of Roadland. All right, if there's no one against that, then that motion has carried. 13 is the CEO reports, with 13.1 being the March 2026 public briefing notes and table of report changes. This is just for noting, yes. Yes,
Yes,
yes.
there should be a recommendation. Yes, a recommendation.
I missed it. I
No.
see it.
So the briefing notes, at 13.1,
Yes.
I don't think. It's just for noting. isn't it? It's just for noting.
Just for noting. Okay. 13.1 is the record of tender outcomes. Is it 13.1? Does it mean? Yes.
13.2 should be the
Which
record
will
of tender
amend-
outcome.
Yes, I will amend that to be 13.2. The record of tender outcome under delegation. Noting as well. Where do we place the recommendation?
Yeah, it looks like it's missing, Mr. Mayor, so my suggestion would be that if we could take a officer recommendation that 13.1, 2, 3,
Or
and 4, which goes down to information report, concessional fees. Make that the officer's recommendation is that those reports are noted.
Yeah.
Is what I'd be suggesting.
so 13 is the recommendation is that the officers' reports,
So yeah, that
the officers' information
the CEO officer reports are noted.
are noted. Who would like to move this information for noting? Councillor Roots, seconded. Councillor Johansson. Anyone against this? No. Councillor Roots, any commentary around some of the information in those reports?
Happy to know. It's important oversight for us, but particularly
Thank you. Councillor Johansson.
Just noticing the youth shed numbers are down again.
You said.
And, be interesting to ask those kids if they would prefer free swimming at the swimming pool centre instead. Because, for the cost of what the youth shed costs to run, you could give all kids free access to the leisurePlex, not just 1 month a year, 12 months a year. It'd be interesting to put that out to the community to see what they actually thought.
What you do raise is a good point around. But it's for asking. The youth shed, have we done like an internal business review? When was the last time we did 10 business review on youth shed?
It's a really good question, Director. Yeah,
Through the chair, not in my time,
yeah.
so
Okay.
not in the last couple of years.
All right, there's no motion, but I would suggest that might be a good time, probably to Councillor Johansson's point. If numbers have been dropping,
Yeah.
and we probably should do a review of the youth shed.
We
Great
do-
commercial space that could be used by the arts group too,
Yeah.
We do have a rolling series of service reviews every year. So, but yeah, I think that's a good suggestion. We'll take that on board for next year.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, may I just make one comment too?
Sure.
Only noting the Australia Day Awards in there and the citizenship ceremony, which, there was over 200 guests to that, but it was a great event as well. That was during January.
Was that your first one, Councillor Swapper?
The January one, watching everyone there was,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
And then I've recently been able to be the presiding member for March, but if anyone hasn't been to a citizenship ceremony, I highly recommend it. It's a lovely event and very meaningful for those that are there, and I felt privileged to be a part of it.
Harris?
Can I make some comment on some of these attendance and utilisation summary?
Yes.
Two figures stand out to me on that graph. The arts and development and events section for the year on year for January was down 66%. I believe that was because the Australia Day fireworks was cancelled, so that's why that was down a lot. And then the meet the street parties. All right, so for January we had 0.
Yeah.
So that's down 100%.
People aren't being neighbourly.
Right. I thought, geez, that's from 8 to 0. But when I
2 seconds, Councillor Harris. We are able to go on to that page, which is page, what is it? It's the information report, 13.2.
159, I think.
Yeah, 13.2 on that list. Yeah, so make the street parties get down 100%, which we had none in January, you know. But in January last year, we had 8, and they were all from Dampier.
Oh.
In January last year, all 8 were from Dampier. Scroll down to further, and you'll see the see where I pulled that figure from.
December.
That was very interesting that they were all at
December, not January.
So December 2025, there were 8 parties in Denver.
They were Christmas. They were all street parties, and they thought they get free sausages.
It would be interesting to see how they related to each other, or if there was anything like that to pick up. You know, like they took it in turns. It was obviously 4 weeks in December, or whatever.
It was used for an excuse to Christmas party.
Yeah,
which is good.
Yeah. But you know, we've got to try. Obviously, we'll see how February goes for the meet street parties. We might know. Who wouldn't want $250 ish to go on a party? I mean,
Street
in the street.
in January.
Well,
Yes.
well, there's two community programs. Those 2 programs came about around the same time. I think if you remember, Jeff, you were here then. The security subsidy scheme, and then the meet the street parties all came about the same time. And the security subsidy scheme, that's just continues to be well utilised. But the street parties, we might have to do a little bit of extra effort to get some people involved. Councillor Jansen?
I have a thought to help Jeff with his street parties. Can we maybe offer people the Leisureplex as a location during the hot months, you know, as an option over street parties?
Use
Yeah,
the to there.
why not? Use the facility, bring the people there.
They have to be from the same street.
Yeah, same street. Make them show up license to get in.
We've got a facility. Okay. Any other questions or comments on the information reports? Oh, all right. Scrolling down. The 14, I know that. Again.
Notice of motion.
Yes, the notice of motion, motions of which previous notice has been given from Councillor Broots. Now, the councillor's recommendation is that council endorses the provision of free entry for eligible seniors to the city's aquatic facilities to support active ageing, community wellbeing, and increased participation in recreational activities. 2, defines eligible seniors as holders of a valid Australian Government Seniors Card, Western Australian Seniors Card, or a pensioner concession card. And 3, approved by absolute majority pursuant to Section 6.12 of the Local Government Act, the waiver of fees and charges for eligible seniors for aquatic-only memberships and casual entry to Karratha Leisureplex aquatic facilities, the Wickham Recreation Centre aquatic facilities, and the Roburn Aquatic Centre. And 4, requested the CEO to report back to Council before the 30th of March 2027, outlining program uptake, operational impacts, and any recommendations for continuation or modification of the initiative. Councillor Roots, would you like to move this motion?
Can I move my own motion?
You certainly can. Who would like to second the motion? Councillor Furlong. Anyone against the motion? Councillor Roots, would you like to speak for your motion?
Yes, this one came out of the brilliance and the success of the free swims and shuts. It speaks to one of our, most important initiatives of supporting whole of life and being the most livable city. Well, that means for everyone, not just our youth, which obviously make up a huge component of our community. But some of my most treasured times in my week are spent with our wonderful seniors who are very engaged and spend so much of their time still continuously giving out to our community. So I think that this is a really easy win for us to be able to support continued participation. I also see it as an initiative to wrap around and support health services because it's sort of preventative with a really low impact way to exercise, accessibility for people who are, essentially not still earning wage or a lower wage, supporting mobility, mental wellbeing. Just see it as a really important initiative for a very small portion of our community, but a very valuable portion of our community.
Absolutely, it's a wonderful initiative, and they might actually help the staff, by just keeping those kids in line.
I'm sure that they would. They're very helpful. I just also wanted to say thank you very much to the administration for pulling all of this together and giving us an estimate of what this would look like as far as an investment from the city, financial impact. But I truly believe that, the outcome of this initiative will far outweigh any financial investment. So thank you to the admin for putting those stats together for us.
And Councillor Roots, Councillor Furlong, anything to add?
Not really. I think, yes, it is a small percentage of our population, but it's Councillor Roots, this is where we have stemmed from, our seniors. So it's really important to acknowledge that, and it's minimal financial impact. So yes, I think it's a wonderful idea. Thank you.
But they might spend money at that cafe, and
That's right.
yeah, so I guess next year by March we'll find out exactly how much it is going to cost. All right, there's no one against that motion. That motion has carried.
That's a good one. Thanks.
15 is questions by members of which due notice has been given. Obviously none. 16, urgent business approved by the person presiding or by decision. There's none. 17 is matters behind closed doors, of which we do have an item. So I'd like to ask the people of the public, members, people, either and to leave.
Thanks, Gary.
Gary.
See you, Gary.
Look after my note, won't you?
Thanks, Gary.
See ya.
Councillor Slipper, Councillor seconded, Councillor Roots. Now against that. Okay. We're in closed doors. the meeting is closed at 7:22 p.m. And the next OCM is to be held on Tuesday. It's not there. Anyway, next month. What's the date? What is the date?
Tuesday,
Tuesday the
28th.
28th. Is it there? Okay, Tuesday the 28th of April. At 6 p.m. Yeah, council chambers. Okay, thanks very much.
Thanks, everyone.
So,
So, yeah.
Safe.
Okay.